In this video I'm going to tell you about Galaxy. So what is Ansible Galaxy? Ansible Galaxy, or galaxy.ansible.com, is a community website behind Ansible. And it is mainly used for providing access to roles and collections. If you use Galaxy, you can easily find the content that you need, even the description and the information all about it. There's an Ansible Galaxy command line. We've already seen it in the previous video, which you can easily use to work with your content. You can use Ansible Galaxy Collection to manage collections, or Ansible Galaxy Role to manage roles. Instead of spending a lot of time in slides about Galaxy, let's just go check it out. So galaxy.ansible.com is where you go to. This is Ansible Galaxy. In the past, Ansible Galaxy was all about roles. Nowadays, Ansible Galaxy is also about collections, but it's easy to work with once you understand what you're looking for. So let's do a search and let's go for this Nginx that we've used before. So I'm using Nginx and I'm pressing enter. Now what is happening? Well, to start with, you see 37 collections. Collections are the preferred way to work with Ansible contents nowadays. So that makes sense, and you can see that in the Ansible Galaxy collection there are 3 roles that are available. But you can also use a filter. If you just want to see roles, then you select role from the filter and you see the roles. First, I would like to talk about these roles independently. That's especially convenient if you're still on Ansible 2.9 and earlier. Let's check out this Nginx role. This is the Nginx role that we have used before. So here is the website. This is Mr. Geerling guy. This is one of the main people in the Ansible community. And Mr. Geerling has created this role. So you can find some information, including the information on how to use it. The minimal Ansible version, quite important as well. And supportability, that's the information on where you can use this specific role. And also, quite convenient, there is a README. So if you want to figure out how to use this role, then here you can see it. Most roles have a very detailed documentation. Of course, the documentation all depends on the quality of the role. Some documentation is quite good. Some documentation, sadly, is not. Now, behind Ansible Galaxy, there is also the Ansible Galaxy command. My advice, use the Ansible Galaxy website to find the content that you need, and then use the Ansible Galaxy command for everything else. So I'm using Ansible Galaxy role. -H to see what we can do. Very convenient command is Ansible Galaxy role list. So if I do my Ansible Galaxy role list, I can see all the different roles that are installed. And what do we see? We see that currently there are 3 different directories. Of course, these directories are hard-coded and can be further tuned from the ansible.cfg. But if I use Ansible Galaxy role install, by default it ends in home ansible.ansible roles. So you know what? Let's go check out this /home/ansible.ansible roles to see what a role is really looking like. I think it's worth having some insight into the roles. So geerlingguy.nginx, and we can see different directories. The role structure, the role contents, is structured between different directories. And if you use the Linux tree command, that's an easy way to figure out how these roles are organized. To start with, there's default and vars. These are about variables. So defaults is your default variables. They can be overwritten, and vars is in many cases operating system specific variables. Then we have the tasks. Every role has tasks, and the convention is that the main playbook in any directory has the name main. So we can see main.yml containing the main task. And then you can see that there are setup playbooks as well. I'll show them in a while. Apart from that, another important directory is the handlers, and the last important directory is the templates. So if your tasks are triggering handlers, they are right here. And if your tasks are using templates, they should be stored in the templates directory. Now, if you really want to understand what's going on, we should go to the tasks directory and from there open main.yaml. So here we go, the main.yaml, and what do we see? We see a main playbook, basically. Well, it's not a playbook, it's a collection of tasks. A collection of tasks that through the role is going to be included in your playbook. And what do we see? Well, we can see a very smart way to make it work on any distribution. So we have include vars, which is using Ansible OS family.yml. Ansible OS family, as you probably recognize, is an Ansible fact. So it will include the Ansible fact for the specific distribution family that you are using. If we don't have Nginx user, then we are going to use set fact. If Ansible OS family equals Red Hat or Ansible OS family equals Rocky, then we are going to install tasks according to setup redhat.yml, etc., etc., etc. And this is how a role is structured. Now, let me show you just one example, the setup redhat.yml. Wow, that's a big collection of tasks? Of course not. Roles and tasks and everything else is organized in a way so that it is readable. And here you can see tasks that are specific for Red Hat, and that is all. This is what's going to be done if you are on the Red Hat family. And if you're on the Ubuntu family, you get different tasks, and that's exactly what a role is all about. So while you are developing your own playbook, you may think for yourself, how am I going to handle this on Ubuntu? How am I going to handle this on Red Hat? Instead of thinking about all of this for yourself, you can also use a role instead. And that is making your life a lot easier.